Hello, my name is Justin Merriam. I'm the owner-operator of Personal Energy Incorporated. I'm also the head trainer for the Rochester Fire Department Academy and trainee programs. I'm putting this video together to help prepare you physically for the demands of not only the physical agility test and academy, but also life out on the line as a firefighter. Imagine you are a professional athlete. Unlike any other sport, most of what you do is unknown. You don't know what time the game is, you don't know the circumstances or what you'll have to do, and you don't even know who your opponent is. You're going to be put in life-threatening situations and someone could die. Firefighters are the ultimate athlete. Your fitness level cannot be a liability. Your lack of ability could lead to injury or worse for you or your fellow firefighters. To be ready, you have to train like a firefighter. That means working to acquire extreme levels of cardiovascular, muscular, and metabolic endurance, and you need the ability to go 110% for long periods of time. You are the most important piece of equipment that your department has. You have an obligation to the department and your fellow firefighters to keep yourself in peak condition at all times. After you've taken your civil service exam, the next step in the process is to be called for the physical agility test. Now, the physical agility test, or beep test, involves running 20 meters back and forth continuously. The runs are synchronized with a pre-recorded audio, which plays beeps at set intervals. As the test continues, the interval between each successive beep decreases. Therefore, the athletes have to run faster to make it to one end of the 20 meters before the next beep sounds. Your goal is level 6, shuttle 10. Now, the beep test is an extremely easy test, but you can make it much harder on yourself if you don't pace yourself. Pacing is the number one issue that we see at the beep test. If you've never run the test before, your first instinct is when the test begins, you're going to start sprinting down to the other end. And yes, you'll make it in plenty of time, but you're going to blow through a heck of a lot of energy in the process. The test begins at a very light jog and builds its speeds progressively as the levels increase. Your goal should be to make contact with the line as you hear the beep, not before the beep, and certainly not after the beep. Okay, so you've passed your physical agility test and now you're heading into the academy. Here are some tips on how to get yourself physically ready for the academy. Tip number 1, I sure hope you're doing this one already. Get yourself in a routine of working out 3 to 4 times a week. Those that are familiar with strength training and especially functional training are much more successful in the academy. Tip number 2 gets a little bit more complicated. Train like a firefighter. Okay, so powerlifting, strength training, bodybuilding, they all have their place. But you got to think about what a firefighter truly is. He's a jack of all trades type of athlete. Okay, you got to be good at everything. That means a combination of cardio, core, strength training, functional training, powerlifting, you name it. Okay, you never know what obstacle you're coming to next, so you got to be ready for everything. Okay, so let's take a standing shoulder press for instance. Mostly an upper body, bodybuilding, powerlifting type of move. Now, if I take that same shoulder press and add in a front squat to the shoulder press, now we're talking about a full body functional movement that translates right out onto the fire grounds. Those are the kind of moves that we're trying to get proficient in. So incorporate more functional, real life type of movements into your weight training sessions. Tip number 3 is to clean up your diet. You can't expect to perform your best physically and mentally if you don't have the nutrition to back it up. Okay, so that means eating whole foods and knowing the source of your foods. That means making your own meals, whether that be a meal prep on the weekend or maybe you make dinner every night and you make a little bit extra for the next day. You need to find a system that works for you. Okay, doing so gives you complete control over what goes into your meals, okay, and how healthy those meals are. Eating more vegetables. That sounds a little bit funny because we all know we're supposed to eat vegetables, but not a lot of people are doing that, okay? So it's important that you take up half that plate with some leafy green vegetables, okay? That's what provides your body with the real nutrition that you need. The last tip that I got for you is to take care of your body. That means getting to a yoga class or a stretching routine once or twice daily, okay? And investing in a foam roller because, oh, by the way, you're gonna need one when you get to the academy. A few guidelines that you should be able to hit by the time you get to the academy. You should be able to run 1.5 miles in 12 minutes. That's a 7.5 mile an hour pace. You should also be able to get 40 consecutive full range of motion push-ups. That means elbows past 90 degrees. And you should also be able to get a 3-minute plank. Now, if you can't do those, you know where you should start. If you're looking for more help, if you need more help, please feel free to reach out to me. I sure hope this video helped, and I'll see you guys in the academy.